Employment rights are a key part of today's workplace. The government has legislated widely on the subject to ensure that employees' rights are protected and that they're not taken advantage of by employers. It's a good idea to have a thorough understanding of your statutory employment rights so that you can raise it with your employer if you think they're doing something that infringes them. Your employment rights include the right to the minimum wage, the right to maternity or paternity leave, and the right to join a trade union if you want to. You also have the right not to join a trade union. That means an employer cannot discriminate against you for refusing to join one or for joining a different one to the one they officially recognise. Europe has a huge influence on employment rights in the UK. Recent European legislation has given us the working time regulations that set out the number of hours an employee can work in a week. It's also important to know whether you're entitled to sick pay under the law and what your holiday entitlement is. Your statutory employment rights set out your minimum entitlements. Your employer is free to increase your entitlements, but they're not allowed to give you less. For example, you're entitled to a statutory minimum of 52 weeks maternity leave. Your employer can give you more time off, but they cannot insist that you take a shorter maternity leave. Certain employment rights only accrue after you've been employed with your employer for a certain amount of time. For example, you'll only be entitled to statutory redundancy pay if you've been continually employed by your employer for a period of 2 years or more. If you're dismissed for enforcing or attempting to enforce your employment rights, you may have a claim for unfair dismissal against your employer and you may be entitled to receive compensation. If you think your employer may be infringing your employment rights or if you've been dismissed, you should speak to an employment solicitor. We can put you in touch with a recommended solicitor in your area.